You guys kind of know the drill. Type OG in the chat. Also, you guys play a big role in making sure that we grow this room as big as possible. So just share the video if you can. Share the links in the comments for anything that I'm talking about. You guys know what it is, the tools, everything that we're using. Also, I'm live on Minerva Beauty's Facebook, the Free Salon Education Facebook, and also our YouTube channel. So I'm super excited to be on all of those platforms. And yeah, that's it. So let's get in here, get involved, start chatting, guys. Let me turn the music down a little bit. So before we start the class today, I want to say hello to everybody. So hi, Juju, what's up? Good to see you in the chat. Now, we're going to do a short haircut today. I'm going to walk you through it step by step, show you guys how to do it. But the other thing is I'm giving away my pair of Mizutani DB20 scissors. It's a $950 scissor. My son shaved his head yesterday, so thanks to all of you guys that were a part of that yesterday. He shaved his head. He was able to raise about $6,000. We did that over the last couple weeks for childhood cancer research. So he shaved his head, and I'm giving away one of my prized possessions, which is my DB20 scissor, which is right here. So I'm gonna clean it up for you guys. Maybe I'll do one last haircut with it today. It's including a free sharpening. So yeah, maybe I'll do this haircut today with this scissor, just as a final farewell. And then you guys, I'm gonna send it to one of you guys. So I'm gonna draw the name now so you'll know who it is. Let's see. But let me just say hi to you guys for a second as well. Let me pop here. Who we got in the chat today? Karen, good to see you. I got your name in the drawing today. First class I'm actually able to be here for. Billy, that's awesome. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Let's see. All right, guys, we're getting people logged in here. Awesome. Very cool. All right, so let's do the drawing. Let me go over here. Get rid of that. Go back. All right. Learning new things. Awesome. Very cool. All right, guys, so here we go. I got a whole, my backup hat, a backup hat full of names here. So all of you guys that donated $10 or more, your name went in here. And now we're going to draw the winner. Now, I'm not going to cheat. I'm going to hold it up over my head, and I'm going to pick. So let's see where we're at here. Just look like I looked, so I'm gonna mess it around some more. Hello, everyone. All right, ready? The winner of the scissor. This one jumped into my fingers. Steffi does hair. Steffi does hair. See if this will, nope, it's not gonna focus. Not gonna focus. Oh well, Steffi does hair. Congratulations, Steffi. I will be contacting you on Instagram today. You won the DB20 scissor. Thank you to everybody out there that did help and donate to the cause all of their money, even though you didn't win the scissor. Only one person can. Actually, I got to choose a TriRazor winner as well. But all of you guys, all the money that you guys donated goes to a really, really good cause, which is 100% of it goes to childhood cancer research. So thank you guys for that. We'll do it again next year. We'll see what I give away. Maybe it'll be my car. Maybe that. I don't know. I leased that. I can't give that away. All right. So yes, congratulations. All right. So we got one more drawing, one more giveaway here. And that is for a TriRazor, which I'm going to be using today. I'm not going to use your TriRazor for this, but I'm going to be using a TriRazor in the cut as well as the DB20. But here is the TriRazor available on Free Salon Education. They're $44.95 if you want to buy one. Go to Shop FSE. But if you donated, you have a chance to win. So prize number 2, maybe I'll give away some more stuff today too. We'll see. See how I'm feeling. Feeling in the giveaway spirit today. All right, this one jumped into my hand. Jess Mack. So I don't know if she's on here right now, but Jess, congratulations. I just picked the most expensive place to ship a TriRazor to, which is Australia. Yay. So congratulations, Jess. Thank you so much for your donations. Actually, fun little story. Jess's son he actually went out to do some work, her little son, to raise money to donate to my son's charity and head shaving and all of that. So super cool. Congrats, Jess. You got a backup TriRazor for you. Give one to a friend if you want, or just keep it for yourself. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. I'm going to give away some more stuff throughout this to those that donated, and maybe to one of you guys that are watching live. So we'll see how it goes. All right. So let me get into this here. So we're going to be doing a shorter haircut on the mannequin today. I want to go kind of Pixie style. I have this thought in my head of kind of a fringier, almost short mullet, but not a mullet, but like fringier around the edges. So I want to cut that today. I had this thing pictured in my head. Hopefully it all works out. We'll see. But I'm super excited to just try it out with you guys, have some fun with it. We'll talk about structure. We'll talk about different things. Also, if you guys have questions, type Q in the chat. Put your question. I can see the chat all up on the board. I can see you guys going through. So there you go. So if you have questions, type Q, put in your question. Otherwise, let's get started and have some fun. All right. So let me get to the closer camera here, and then I'll put this one up. So first things first, here is the mannequin. Now, she's got a little bit shorter fringe, so I got to keep that in mind when I go into this shorter haircut with how I want the outcome to be. But we're going to go through and section. Now, I'm going to break down the way that I want to section this off, because if I'm going to do kind of a fringier feeling around the edges, then I may want to think about that when I'm going through my sectioning. So a couple things. I've got, let's see here. All right, that's good. Turn the head here. So first I'm going to section off the fringe, then I'm going to move into sides. Fringe will also include a little bit of the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw kind of from the apex or the high point of the head. I'm going to draw that down to the corner of the eyebrow. Here, right on over. So there we go. Nice little slight diagonal forward line. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite here. We'll go over here, draw from the high point down to the edge of the eyebrow. Go a little bit more. There we go. So that is our fringe section. I'll comb this up and away. And the reason I like to section off the fringe is when you look at this, you're going to see that this is all basically sitting on the curve of the head. So on the curve that kind of goes down. So I want to be aware of that as I'm cutting the top of the head. So you can see how from the high point, it's all kind of downhill from there, right? So I'll add my clip in, keep that sectioned away. Now, both corners, right at this point, they're both sitting. I'm going to go a little more centered in that one. There we go. So both corners are sitting right around that parietal ridge area. So that's kind of where I want it to be. So if I go from this point, sorry, I'm finding myself here. There's the top view. There we go. All right. So from this top view, you've got your back crown area. So high point of the head, and then as it rolls back, you've got high crown, and then you've got mid crown, right? Kind of if you drew a circle right around this crown area, that would be the middle, right? And you've got low crown here. So what I want to do is I want to go just under mid crown, or the center of the crown. So make sure you got a nice clean vertical line back. Then comb the hair around the head and get it moving in the direction you want to take your parting. So I move it around the head this way. Once I get it clean, it's easy to comb through. Then I take underneath the crown and I work around the head to that point. So just like that. There we go. Now I'm going to take this section here, twist it away. Twist it up nice and tight. And the clip. Do the same thing on the opposite side. So work around the head. And then draw from that mid crown around to the edge of the eyebrow. There we go. Twist it. And clip it. Chris, Q, what is the crown area? So the crown area is, I mean, just imagine kind of having a crown on your head. That's what I always think about. So it would be a circle area that sits back on your head. So you could kind of take it from the apex. So if I look at, let's see if I have a bald head. I do. It's a good lesson for all of you guys out there, especially students that are watching. Look, it's a blue day. So pop this off. I'll go over the little head shape stuff for you guys. All right. Take that off. So those of you guys out there, as we look at the head, right? So the head is a nice round surface. Once it's got hair on it, it kind of hides some of these curves and movements. So I want to show you guys and kind of break down some of the head shape. So this is how I think about it. There's definitely technical bone structure names, and I use some of them. And then sometimes I get a little looser with that, with calling them the names, right? So here we go. So you go here. We look at the side of the head. Now look at this round surface. So we start here. This is the nape, right, in this area, right? So you've got the nape, and then as you move up the head, you get to the occipital bone or occipital bone, however you want to say it. I'm sure there's a definite right way to say it. I say it occipital, but I think it's occipital. I don't know. So gets the job done. So I should be better at that, to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it. So here, it curves up, occipital bone there. Then we get to low crown. So the question was, what is the crown? If you look at where the crown would sit on somebody's head, this is the crown area. So this circle that sits in the back of the head. So imagine drawing this kind of crown shape. I always refer to that as the crown. So if we're at high crown, we're here. If you're in the middle of the crown, then you're obviously right where this kind of magnet is. And then if you're in the low crown, you're just above the occipital bone and in the crown area, right? So you move from the occipital bone, which is right here in the back, and then you move into this low crown area. Then behind the ear, or mastoid process, I think this is called, but I like to just say behind the ear. And and then you've got your temple area here, and then your fringe area, and then you've got the high point of the head, right? So crown, high crown sits just about here, in my opinion, sits just about here. And then that little bit above it, so when you see where the comb starts to go away from the head right there, this would be where your high point is, because that's the highest point of the head. So if I put the comb down here, it leaves the head there, and so that kind of rocking motion will show you where that apex is. So it's important to know where the highest point is. She's from The Matrix, yes. These are actually things that are feeding her brain. I've never seen The Matrix, so I don't even know. But all right, so that's a breakdown of the head shape. Hopefully that helps you guys as we work through it. Oh, and then the parietal ridge, which I didn't go over, but I can show you guys. So parietal ridge is basically what separates the up and down. So right here, this little ridge, this bone, kind of where we took this line from, that's the parietal ridge. You can find that by holding the comb up against and then finding where that kind of rocks back and forth as well. So there you go. There's your lesson for the day. All right. Thank you, Juju. I appreciate that. I really appreciate it. It's very nice. Okay. Hello, France and Anne. Hello, Anne from France. Let's see. Vicky says she thinks I say occipital bone correctly. I don't think, it's two C's, so I'm imagining it's occipital, not ox, but I don't know. Everybody will say like I'm either right or wrong, but they probably just heard it from somebody too. So maybe there's like an English person, English major that could explain to me how to pronounce it. All right, so I'm going to use the DB20 because it's just nostalgic and I want to use it in this haircut before I send it off to our winner. But I didn't really plan on using a scissor today. I was going to just use the TriRazor. So I'm going to work it in probably more towards the top. But that'll be kind of how we do that. Or maybe at the end I'll use it. But I'm definitely going to use the TriRazor today. So what is the TriRazor? Here is the tool. I think if I hold it back here, it'll probably just be better. So it's a razor tool that has 3 razors in one. So it's got one side that cuts 100% of the hair. It's got one side that is a texture 25, so it takes out 25% of the hair. And then you've got 50% of the hair coming out on this side. Now, this is a tool that it's patent pending. We created it. There have been, I'm learning that there was a triangle razor 20 years ago, I guess. I didn't know, but it's not the same thing. So those of you guys that see this, and it's not the same thing. This we designed from nothing, from scratch, to create the 3 sides that cut differently. And it's just super cool. It's super fun to use. And I love hearing everybody's stories about the cuts that they're doing with it and showing me on Instagram and stuff. It's really awesome. So if you guys are looking to pick up a razor tool, I love it if you go to our shop, shopfse.com, and you can pick up the razor anywhere in the world. Occipital. Catherine says, occipital. If you refer back to a haircut you did in the past, can I search for it on the website or app? Yes, you can, Karen. That's kind of the point of the app, is we're trying to load all the content on there, also make simpler versions of the content on there, and then make it searchable for you guys so that it's an easy tool that you can have in the palm of your hand. If you want to learn a pixie cut, you just type in pixie cut, and it will pop up with all the pixies I've ever done. So that's kind of the goal there. All right. I know, too much chatter. So just so you guys know, all these classes, I'm really filming a tutorial to put back on YouTube or Facebook, a shorter version of these. This is really for me to have fun, interact with you guys, cut hair live, take your questions, and just, do that kind of thing. So if you're looking for the shorter kind of versions of these cuts and me not talking so much, the videos are great for that. All right. So here's what I'm going to do, because I really just want to draw this shape in, and I want to have some fun kind of cutting this shorter shape into the longer kind of fringy area. So what I'm going to do, this is kind of the thought that I've been having. So let me section off the front and back as well. So that's going to be the only other sections that I put in this. So right here, we're going to split front and back. I want to go right to this hairline area. Just like this. So there it is. And I'll clip that back and away. Actually, let me get that tighter back. Really get it out of the way. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, using the TriRazor and using over direction, we're going to create a really fun fringy effect. So what I want to do is I want to lift this hair. So I'm going to comb it up, and I want to get it nice and tight at the occipital bone. So my finger will then be level with the occipital bone. So just like this, comb the hair up like that. Now you don't want it to be low, because then you're not pushing weight and length down. I want to make sure I elevate up, get this hair nice and tight into my fingers. And now I can decide, now how do I want that weight to fall? Do I want it to fall square? Do I want it to fall, comb it more like this and make it fall, push more that way, like diagonal forward? Or do I want it to go more diagonal back? You can really decide. I want it to go more diagonal forward. So I'm going to comb this up in the air, just like this, at that occipital bone area. And then I'm going to take my TriRazor and I'm going to cut across. I want to go to the top angle so you guys can see this better. Focus. There we go. All right. So comb it up. Now if I want it to go diagonal forward, I go back to this back corner here. If I want it to go diagonal back, then I go to this front corner here. And if I want it to be square, I go square to the parting, like this, right? So I want it to go diagonal forward, push that weight towards the front of the face. So I'm combing this hair up, and now I'm going to work my TriRazor across this section, just like this, and create a line. So now, let me show you guys what happens. So here it is. So when you comb the hair down, see how it gets fringier around the edges and it keeps that length? That's the goal. So I can always cut into that later, but it gives me that kind of length to play around with within this cut. So now we're going to do another similar thing. We're going to do it on the other side. Do the same motion there. Jess, I see your message. That is very nice of you. We can do that. We can do that for sure. I already commented about how I just picked the most expensive place to send it to. That's how you know our contests aren't rigged. All right. So right here, split front and back. Just like that. I will clip it away. And now, combing this hair up to the back corner. Just like that. Get it nice and tight. Little fun fact for you guys that watch live. These are little nuggets of information that you would never know. See how I'm combing this up like this? It's a little filming 101. I comb this up like this. Hold it there like that. I'll even bring my razor around like I'm gonna cut it. And then I'm gonna go to the other angle. Because when I edit the video later, I'll put those two pieces together and it'll look like it was all one take. Fun facts. All right, diagonal back to that back corner. And then I work the TriRazor across. Just like that. And then when we comb it down, again, comb it down, we get our nice fringy, fun area. Check that out. Okay. Now, we're going to take a triangle section out of the back. So right here. And there's a reason for this triangle section, but I'll explain in a minute. So you're kind of just taking some of that crown out. So from basically this point here, I'm going to come down like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Connect those two together. So here, there. Just like that. There we go. Now I'll check my triangle, make sure it's good enough. Looks good enough. So where are you guys watching from? Why don't you let me know in the chat? Can we do the same cut by using a scissor? For sure, yeah. So I love the look of a razor because it's just so soft, the lines. You get a little bit more of a blunt line with a scissor, but you could point cut, so that would kind of take away some of that. You know, but you could definitely condense cut with a scissor. Depends on the hair texture too, or the hair density. So if it's super thick, you might not want to go in and like, you might want to use a razor just because it'll help you out. OG from, it's Adele. What's up, Adele? Rhonda, good to see you. Lexington, Kentucky. Awesome. Maryville, Tennessee. Karen Gibson. Good to see you, Karen. Janice, Vicky from the UK. Amanda, Louisiana. Jessica, New Orleans. Rhythm from India. Adrian, Iowa. I went to beauty school in Iowa, Adrian. What part of Iowa are you in? All right. Brownsville, Texas. Johannesburg, South Africa. South Africa is on my list of places I would like to go. Did anybody else during this whole like quarantine thing? I mean, I'm sure everybody. This is kind of a stupid question, but think as soon as they release us from being all, what's it called? I should show you guys what I just did. That would be nice. One sec. Let me do it again. When they release us from this whole quarantine, COVID stuff, like, is everybody just going on as many vacations as possible? Like, they never know when they might get locked down again. That's kind of where I'm at. As soon as they release us, I might quit working. Just forever. Just stop. And just go live on an island or something. All right. Forgot my TriRazor's in my pocket. All right, so now I'm going to do a very similar technique that I did in the front. So pretty cool because this is basically making pixie cutting very simple. And that's kind of what I'm all about, is figuring out ways to simplify and speed up the hair cutting process so that we get better results in faster time. Hairdressers can make more money, you know, that's the deal. So what I'm going to do is now I want to go parallel to the parting. So I'm going to comb all this hair up, and you might even break it up into a couple sections. So I could start here, and I'm going to go parallel to this parting and keep the elevation right about at the parting, right? So let me pop over here. Oh, find your way. There you go. Yep, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to elevate this entire section, and then your guideline comes from what you previously cut. Again, TriRazor's in my pocket. So just like this. Up. Just make sure you get the root nice and tight. And then carve across. And then when I comb it down, I'll show you guys the whole thing, but actually, I'll cut that one. In front of you, I might get in the way a little bit, but that's okay. So here we go, right above that parting. Now, what I want you guys to think about while you're watching me do this is over direction and how much of a role it's playing. It's playing the entire role of how this haircut's forming, right? So am I going to leave this tail? No, I'm not going to fully. But if you wanted to, if you were Miley Cyrus, you might. I'm not going to leave it, but that gives me a ton of hair to play with in the end result. So imagine now, if I come in here, and I'm going to do this in a minute, but I come in here with the TriRazor and I just start taking some of these pieces shorter. Now I've got this little shaggy Pixie with a fringy edge that doesn't look moldy. It just looks more fashionable, right? So the same thing over here. All right. Keeping the hair, you got to keep it saturated, you know what I'm saying? There we go. Already digging the look of this. So I'll take just a subsection of this panel. I'm not going to take it all because it doesn't all fit in my hand. And I just comb this hair up. Need all that. Take a little guide from the previously cut section and get this section combed nice and tight at the base and elevated to the parting of our triangle up here. So right there, my guide is right there. You can see, super cool. Rhythm, you gotta order one. It's the best. This is my favorite tool ever to cut hair with. You just have so many options with it, and it's like small. You can just throw it in your pocket. You can cut people's hair wherever you're at. There you go. If I move to an island after COVID, if they release me and I move to an island, what's the one thing I'll bring? This. This tool. All right, that looks super cool already, and honestly, like, you could leave it like that, but I'll go into it, cut into it a little bit more. Again, guys, if you want to get a TriRazor, maybe I'll give one away, so stay tuned, stay with me here. But $44.95, has 3 blades inside, comes with 3 blades, and a pack of 5 blades in a nice little box like this. We spent lots of time making the box look super cool. So you get the 5 pack of blades plus a TriRazor with 3 blades, and then you can order extra blades from our website as well. Okay. So now, what do we do with this triangle section in the back? That's a good question. Just kidding. Shipping charges are going to make me cry. I know, sometimes it's hard depending on where you live. South Africa, probably some unfortunate shipping charges in that. Here's the other thing though, if you're able to get the feather blades, blades that look like this, and we didn't invent the blades, so, but I mean, we obviously packaged them for ourselves, but if you're able to get these blades, you'd only have that shipping charge one time. So it wouldn't be as bad. You just got to pay for it once. But then you can get yourself a TriRazor. All right. So what do we do with this triangle section in the crown? So you can either cut it with scissors now at this point if you want to go a little more precise, or if you wanted to kind of just carve into it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start bringing some of this hair over to me and just drawing these lines that I want. So kind of working through it, looking underneath, because remember I've got a guideline that kind of comes through. So I'm going to bring the hair over and just start etching away at a line, creating a nice soft line for myself. So just like that, you know, and just keep working through it, cutting really along the surface to create a nice little soft shape. That's the beauty to me of a razor, is being able to just kind of have this tool in my hand, over direct the hair where I think it needs to be, and then just creating those softer lines within the haircut. Should have had the fidget spinner in the middle. You know what's funny? So thought about it, because obviously you spin it in your hand, but it just seemed to cheapen the look of the tool. So for me, still wanted it to look nice. I wanted it to be, you know, more classy looking. But I totally agree, Catherine. It would have been cool to have a little more fidget spinner-ish look in there. So what is over directing the hair one way and then over directing it the other way and cutting it? What is that doing for me? It's pushing the weight into the center back of the cut. So longest point's going to be here. I kind of want that for now, so I can play around with it and decide how I want that to finish up. And again, you know, as I look at some of these little hairs, I can, you know, decide. This is a slight disconnect underneath here because we cut the underneath a little shorter. So definitely a cool little look for it. All right. Sorry, I'm just reading some of your comments. Would love to experiment with the TriRazor, as shears could be a challenge to handle. I'm a fresh student. Yeah, I mean, you got to learn both, but I get what you're saying. You know, the TriRazor is such a cool, like, I think you need both. I mean, you definitely need both. 100% need both. I always trip. But just the freedom and like the creativity of using a razor is, for me, just like, it's just really kind of fun to do. All right. So now we just got to figure out what we want to do with these top sections here. Look at that shape though. It's super cool. This is that kind of more lived in disconnect in this back area. Really dig that. And then these longer lengths throughout it. All right, so let's see, what do I want to do here? Maybe I'll make like a convertible kind of top, a little bit longer top to go on this. I feel like that might be cool. All right, let's do that. So, I'm going to back out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this section here and I'm going to pull it over here and cut it, and then that's going to release weight over this, and then I'm going to go cut it into it this way as well. I just feel like that for me is, actually, I'm changing my mind. So I'm gonna let down these two sections. So one section here. It's the beauty of having a mind, is you can change it. That's a t-shirt right there. That's a t-shirt saying. Has anybody ever heard that saying before? Not sure. The beauty of having a mind is you can change it. Thought of the day. All right. So I comb these sections down. Jess says, I think you should leave some of the bottom bits choppy. I agree. How do you see which side is which on the TriRazor? So, I don't know if you mean which side takes out the certain amount of hair, but on all sides, it tells you there's writing. It says texture 25, texture 50, and then cutting 100. It means 100% of the hair, 50% of the hair, 25% of the hair. I'm glad you love this look. Said that? Tiffany said that. Thanks, Tiffany. I appreciate that. Because I wanted to get a little creative and just kind of create something in front of you guys today. So that's what we're doing. Having some fun. There's no thought besides inside my brain prior to this. Just wanted to get in there and create. So now, again, elevation up just a little bit. Here. I'm going to bring this hair out. I've got my guide still from underneath. And now the heavier back and forth motion you make with the razor, the lighter the line is going to be. So I bring this hair out and I just continue cutting through it, creating a soft line. So, and I'm going to bring some of this hair back because I'm going to start pushing some of that weight to the front. And I'll cut into that more in a minute. Thanks, Diana. Appreciate that. Watching from Guyana, South Africa, or South America. Nice. Diana, I can't read. It's my first time. All right. Thank you for joining. All right, so elevation is key. I'm just going to work that short to long line throughout. Bring this hair back to me as well. Yeah, I'm really digging like that shaggier short hair falling over top. It's pretty fun. Now we've got our fringe area. Drop that out. And this is where I want to kind of cut more of a, like I guess curtain type fringe so that it just lies right on the side here. So it kind of opens up the face a little bit. So curtain fringe, one of the easiest things to cut with a TriRazor. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So I take this whole triangle section and I'm going to do this bit by bit. Sometimes I'll hold it all in my hand, just cut it. But I really want this to be a little more organic feeling. So I feel like almost every hair is important in this. So I'm going to part this down the center and separate the two sides. And now I cut the other parts of the top, the other sections from the top. I cut those more triangular because I brought them back and pushed weight to the front. Now what I want to do with the front pieces here, I want them to fall more with the hairline, with the shape of the head. So I'm going to cut them more in front of the face so that they flow backwards. So, and I'm going to do that kind of piece by piece. So here, I start combing it down, see what it looks like flat, because a little bit of wave in the hair can kind of lie to you a bit. Let's see. Spray this down a little bit. Keep it nice and saturated. Okay. Now, take a little diagonal parting. And what I'm going to do is I want to hold it kind of where it's going to fall. So when you cut with a scissor, a lot of times you have to over direct hair so that you get all these little hairs to go and cut it and then fall kind of short to long. When I cut with a razor, I can do that, or I can just say, you know, it's going to kind of fall right there, and then just lightly start sketching in my line and where that hair is going to sit. So I can say, all right, that's what I want it to do. Then I take some more hair, add it in. And I kind of hold it down. I'm not holding it very light in my fingers, not a lot of tension. And just kind of draw and slide my hand as I go. And I'll start to see that shape coming out. Take a little bit more. I can see my original guide. And then I'm gliding this over and hitting the surface of the hair, but not cutting through it. Like if I cut through it, it makes a blunt line. If I softly flow over top of the hair, it softens that line, and then it's going to allow the hair to be a little bit more moldable throughout the haircut. Does that make sense? Everybody, put your hand up if it makes sense. So now here's a little bit of pieces still left from that fringe area. This is where they're going to live. So what I'll do is I'll just come in like this, and I'll just softly draw out those little pieces. Whoa! All right. Start kind of looking at what that shape's going to do. Now I can start adding a little wave to it, see how the hair's reacting. Cut into some pieces a little bit more. Okay. Oh, that was blurry that whole time, huh? Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So now I do the same thing on the opposite side. So I'll let this clip down. Take the tiniest bit out. And this honestly is, I'm going to go to the other side. I'm using the 100% side of the razor right now. I'm going to use the 50 and the 25 in a little bit as I start working through this. But I want to have 100% control right now, so softly just using that 100%, just not pushing it 100% down, just lightly using it to cut on the surface. Here, there's not as much hair to cut on this side because she already kind of had a side fringe. Again, just a little surface, gliding over. Okay, so now we've got our overall shape. Now, this isn't, it's not done at all, but it's, you know, the wet part is done. Now we're gonna go in, I'm gonna blow it dry, and then I'm going to start detailing it dry. Which is going to be the best part, so don't go anywhere. Make sure you stay tuned. All right, so we're going to use Neuroprime, Paul Mitchell. See in her eyes. There we go. Neuroprime, it's a blowout primer, thermal protector. So it's a great product for protecting your hair from heat damage, but also giving yourself a little bit of hold just to start off your style. All right. So we got that. Now, once I get that product in the hair, I'm going to use my Ergo Diamond Head brush. Ergo brushes, in my opinion, at this moment in time, because I can't predict the future. There we go. Are my favorite brushes on the planet. So the biggest thing about this brush and why I love this one so much is that it is a mini paddle brush. So you've got a regular paddle brush, which is this big. See if it'll focus. So it's this big. And then you've got your mini. I like a paddle brush the most out of all brushes for blow drying, especially like prepping or quickly trying to dry hair but have control of it. But the mini paddle brush is so much better for short hair. So when I'm working through, I'm blow drying men's hair or shorter women's haircuts, bobs, things that I want that tension, I want that round brush tension, but I don't want the size of the brush, then that's why I go in with this guy. So these are also available on our online store. I think they're like 38 bucks a piece. Great brushes. Yeah, great brushes. Great brush. Thanks, Lynn. Appreciate it. My favorite brush, Rhonda's saying. Very cool. I love my Ergo paddle brush, Blanca. Very cool. All right, so we're all on the same page. That's right. That's why we're a fam. Because we all know what we like. All right. I'm going to do a little music today. I'm feeling music for a blow dry. What do you guys think? I don't have any new songs, but I can put a song up. Let's see. Here we go. A little music. A little music for us all.
Talk to me nice. Talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes. Don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy. Make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it. I wanna see it. See how. Rewind. When we rewind, feels so nice. We time. You, I know how to make me feel right.
gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We'll never need a plan. We'll be alright, just you and I. Singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. Someday we will look back and our hearts will be whole again. I want to remember all that happened to us. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we are old and gray, we'll look back at this summer night. This summer night, this summer night. Oh yeah, this summer night, this summer night. Oh, this summer night.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed the oh jeez, Louise. There we go. Hope you guys enjoyed the little dance party there. We're gonna back into it now. So blew it dry. Tried very hard not to disturb what it naturally kind of wanted to do, texture-wise, haircut-wise. You know, I think for me, it's like I could really smooth this out, but then that's not the reality of the cut. And I honestly didn't really want to take away too much of the volume either. So, and we're going to go in, guys. If you're just tuning in, this is not the haircut. This is the base of the haircut. Talked about it a little bit yesterday, I think with the virtual cutting club. We were talking about, you know, cutting a bob wet and just basically that's the foundation. And there's, you know, I always kind of relate what's happening in my life to things that, you know, I teach in hair and just hair in general, because I think about hair a lot. But so there's some work being done in my house right now, like some different like hardscaping work or whatever. But anyways, the important part of this whole story is that it looks worse before it looks better. And you put in the foundation, you put in like everything, and you know, you start, whoa, that doesn't. But if you trust your gut, your instinct, and you understand what you're doing, then it's just part of the process. So you're just kind of going through and stamping in that foundation with a purpose, and then going in and finalizing it, decorating it, making it fit the person after you get it dry. So that's what we're going to do today at this point. So Right now I've got a super heavy top sitting on top of a very light shape, some disconnection, also some long fringy pieces on the sides. So all of that we've got to kind of adjust. So, but the overall shape, the movement is exactly where I want it to be. So, so that's kind of the important part. Cut into that in a sec. See where we're at. This shape. It's totally mullety though. It's super cool. Love it. All right. A little coffee. Is this live video always this hour? Yes. For the most part. Actually, that's not true. This live video is, I'm live every Tuesday at 12:30. Brian and Danielle are live every Wednesday, Thursday at 10 a.m. And then I'm also live on Mondays doing men's cutting at 12:30. So I'm live at 12:30 Monday, Tuesday. Brian and Danielle, 10 a.m. Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. DB20, which is going to Steffi Does Hair. So congrats, Steffi. You guys want to see how terrible my handwriting is? Steffi Does Hair, right there. This scissor that I'm holding in my hand is going directly to them. I am, but I'm going to do my last haircut with it. It's been a good 5 years. It's a $950 scissor, but all of you guys were so gracious to donate to the charity yesterday that it's going to a new home. All right. So now, razor cutting. This is why I say that scissors and razors go so well together, because sometimes you don't need a totally fringy haircut, right? So what I want to do is I can look at some of these lines, some of these longer pieces that I created, and I can go in and now start softening this shape a little bit. So here we go. You can see that. Comb that down. Now I'm going to start cutting into it using Steffi's DB20. Some of you guys missed the drawing. We did the drawing right at the beginning, so we did it from a hat. I'm going to do a drawing again because Jess has given up her TriRazor, and so we'll pick a different person for that because she already has one. You can see just a half close of the scissor sliding through. Steffi on here today? We seen her? Her or him? I'm not sure. So, a couple things I want to show you guys. So I have a longer piece of hair that's part of this kind of fringe area. I don't need that long piece of hair. So it played its role kind of in what it was, but I can hold it out like this and I can actually cut into it. Just soften the way that it falls on the head there. And right on this side, do the same, do a very similar thing. Sliding, cutting. You could do this with the TriRazor as well, so you don't have to do it with a scissor. I just wanted to cut with this thing one last time. Make sure it works well for Steph there. Okay, so now Let me cut into this fringe a little bit. I'm actually really digging this shape we have so far. I'm gonna bring this out in front of me, cut into it. Yeah, like that. Do the same thing on the fringe here. Just bring it out. Point cut. All right, now, goodbye, my friend. I'm just kidding. That was super dramatic. All right. Now, TriRazor. One last little kind of detail work that we're going to start working through it. I'm also going to use Paul Mitchell Invisible Wear Boomerang Restyling Mist just to mist it through the back. So, and what this is going to do is just soften the cuticle just a tiny bit. Because I'm trying to create a nice soft, like a softer short haircut, not a mullet, right? So we kind of have a mullet now, which some of you guys are probably like, oh, I love it. And I'm the same way. But I can guarantee to you guys that the internet won't love it as much as we do. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to take my Texture 50 side of the TriRazor. And the reason I like to use this, I love using this on dry hair because there's more blade exposed. So when you have more blade exposed, I can literally like use it almost like I'm using it as a dry cutting scissor, right? So I can go through here, I could pinch and cut and remove a ton of weight. I can pull the hair in my hands like this and cut, but you can decide, you know, if you want to use 100%, that's fine too. It's just turn the razor, have some fun with it. What I'll do is sometimes go in 100% through it, get that length off, then go in texture 25, and then right where this divots in a little bit, I'll go in texture 25 and just kind of slide through it. And that'll help skinny up this little bit of the hair as well. Alrighty. Little surface. Drawing. Same thing over here. All right. So now, getting close. Just gliding through there, skinnying up these two corners. And now my favorite thing to do. So these are I use 3 tools almost every haircut. I use a TriRazor, I use a texturizing scissor, and I use a blunt or wet cutting scissor. So now, I want to soften some more. Underneath here is so perfect. Like this is what we did with that one swipe of the TriRazor. You can see right there how it just lays nice. It's got a little bit of movement, and then this disconnection falls over top. So what do we do with that disconnect? It's really kind of fun to go through and cut this disconnect in half, comb just a tiny bit over, see what it looks like. I'll put my Velcro clip up there, hold that in place, and then I'll just take my texturizing scissor and I'll start working some of that hair that falls over. I'll just start working through that, just sliding it. Comb the hair back the way that I want it to fall, the way that I want it to kind of flow back, and then I'll cut a little bit more, just kind of making it lighter through that disconnect into the back, which then takes on a shape that I want to skinny up into a little bit more here. So I'll go in. So you see how we start cutting into that and how it just skinnies it up? That's the goal there. And I'll continue working on this side. So now I'll let out my Velcro. This will pop over. Now I want to keep length on this disconnect. I don't really want to go too short, but the lighter you get with it, the easier and the more like you can just throw in a tiny bit of product and kind of style through it. Here, come in. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So over here, so see the difference between that and what that looks like now? There's a big difference. It looks a lot fuller, thicker over here. Lynn asked if I were to choose one texturizing scissor, what would it be? It would be this one, the Uragi number 6 from Mizutani. We sell it on our online store. It's my go-to number one scissor, texturizing scissor that I ever use. It's my favorite. The only other one that I like about the same, but I do like having a blade on there. But if I'm trying to go through longer hair and glide through it, then sometimes I go with this Mizutani Type Z dual texture, which basically is just a texture scissor with 2 texture sides. So when you cut, you can see that there's a gap in between. When you cut with a regular texturizer, there's a slight gap, but you can see a blade in between all the teeth. So sometimes that blade, you don't really feel it because these are so sharp, but sometimes a blade in your texturizing scissor can get a little caught up in the hair. So this, just a really awesome scissor. They both are. They're both awesome. And this one's about $200, I think, cheaper than the dual texture. So probably another reason why I just like it. All right, so now go across that parietal ridge area, let some of this hair fall, comb the rest over. And I'll put my Velcro clip in here, right along the parting. And then I'll start combing this hair back and get ready to work through it. So just like the other side, I'm gonna go in. And then this is another cool little feature of this scissor. So I like to always have the blade kind of following in the hair, and then the other texture blade comes down and cuts it. So on the other side, I would go this way, right, and cut. But when I come over here, now this texture side's down at the hair. So all I have to do is flip it because there's a tang on both. So I can just go in and I still have my blade first. So I just go in there and work through it. Okay. It's pretty good. Let me go a little bit more. And I'm really just trying to grab the surface of this. I'm not trying to cut too far in to the hair, so I'm not over cutting it. And the one thing about cutting with a razor is that all this work that I'm doing, I would have to kind of do double that work, because if I used a scissor to cut it, because the lines would be so blunt and it would be so thick that it wouldn't fall soft to begin with. So it's just something to think about as you're doing this haircut. All right, I'm going to lift this hair up. I'm just going to go in with my texturizing scissor here and just point cut through. Just removing some of this and then take the ends out. And that's really just to kind of connect the top and bottom. Now the last little bit, we got to go into the center. Remove some of that weight. And then honestly, I can just like start really piecing through using this texture scissor and decide how long do I really want that hair to be. That. And I'm just going to take it a tiny bit shorter in there. Almost there. Almost there. All right. All right, cool. So we're almost there. We'll do a little bit, tiniest bit of Paul Mitchell spray wax. Yeah, Brian could give her a cool color now. True that. I want to leave it like, I don't even really want to mess with this fringe too much because I like that it's just kind of bouncy and it's not fully interfaced, so the internet won't freak out too much. That's good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm definitely digging this haircut. I hope you guys are too. Finalize it with this DB20 here. So what do you guys think? Pretty cool. I'm digging it. Hope you guys like it as much as I do. Hope you guys had fun today with me. Let's do a drawing again for Jess's TriRazor that we're giving away here. Let's see. If it picks Jess again, then we know it's just meant to be. Otherwise, we'll see. Let me go here. All right. Glad you guys like it. Is this live on Minerva today too? Yes. This is live on Minerva as well. The only thing it's not live on is my Facebook. So I want a lot of you guys to understand that a lot of the internet is kind of a game of like what Facebook wants you to do. Well, for some reason, I'm starting to feel like they don't want me to be live on there every day. So it's showing it to way less people. So I'm trying to recover a little bit. So I'm live on Free Salon Education, Minerva, and YouTube right now. All those Facebooks and YouTube channel. All right. Here is our hat full of names. This is for the TriRazor. Let's see. And the winner is, that one jumped out. That's meant to be. That's serendipity. That's serendipity. Loving Life 2474. Loving Life 2474. There's my handwriting again. Beautiful. All right. What happened to Jess's TriRazor? Jess gave hers up because she already has one, so she wanted somebody else to have it, which is a very, very nice thing to do. All right, guys. So do we have any questions? If you do, type Q, put in your question. I'll be on here for a couple more seconds. Shout out to them for their massive donation yesterday, for sure. Yeah, I'm happy. I think they donated a lot. I don't even know the specific amount, but they donated quite a bit, especially for like an individual donation. But, it's not about, it is about the amount of money that you donate, but the fact that any of you took any of your money and donated it to the charity to really help my son hit his goal of $6,000 is incredible, and me and Christina and Hayden cannot thank you guys enough for that. Very, very appreciative of you guys stepping up and doing things with us and having our backs, which is kind of what it's all about. So I appreciate that, all of you guys. Let me go here. Just smack was it $500? Yeah. Could have been $500. Incredible. Or maybe you're talking about Minerva. I'm not sure. But Minerva stepped up, donated $500. Millennium Systems International. So those two companies, if you guys are looking for salon furniture or you're looking for salon software, you've either got Minerva Beauty for furniture and equipment, or you've got Millennium Systems International for salon software. That's the software that we use. They do not sponsor any of our stuff right at this moment, but they always seem to jump in for my son every year, and I can't thank them enough for that. John Harms is an awesome guy. So, you know, if you guys need software, salon software, Mevo 2 is what we use. So go check that out. Yeah, Jess is talking about Minerva. Okay. Because Living Life 2474, I think is the name, donated like a couple $100 too, I think, or something. Over 100, I know that. Let's see. When you don't have a double tang, how would you adjust with the texturizing scissor? I think you just have to, that's a great question. So Yana, so if I can't adjust, like let's say I'm here, then I would just go like this, come back, and I could do that. And then when I got over to this side, I could just go through that. So you can always find your way, because you can always have that part of the scissor down. It's just easier if I can go like, you know, like this on one side and then flip it when I get to this side and flip it around and do the same exact motion. So it's not that big of a deal. Like, you don't have to do it, but it's, for me, I just like it. Let's see. All right, cool. I think we're all good. Again, thank you guys. You're the best. Can't wait to see you guys live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Brian's going to be doing a toning class. We're going to talk about different toners and the way that they react to the hair. It's going to be really fun. So we got an hour with Brian tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then Danielle's going to be doing some upstyling for Thursday. So a lot of cool things coming up, things that I don't teach that I'm so happy that they're here with you guys teaching that stuff. If you guys need anything, go to FSE now, download our app. I'm easy to send a message to on that. And then also make sure you download the app. That would be great. And if you need any tools or anything, go to shopfse.com, which is our online store, and you can purchase the Velcro clips, the scissors, the combs, the TriRazor, the brushes, everything that I pretty much used to create this look, you can get on our online store. All right. Yeah, and the shears are Mizutani, and the website is FSE, as in Free Salon Education, so FSE, or shopfse.com, shopfse.com. Or just go to freesaloneducation.com, click on shop, it'll take you to it. Or if you're on our app, click the shopping bag at the bottom of the app, and you can go to the online store that way as well. All right, cool, guys. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the look. Hope you enjoyed the class. Can't wait to hang with you guys again. I'll see you guys on the next class. Thanks.